Alright, what's up everybody? Today we're going to be doing Wild Green, but not the stage trial because it's Mel only, we don't want to do that. So instead we're doing Wild Green CC on, well, as for season, I would usually go for spring or fall. I guess for this video I'll go for spring. And I was saying earlier, but I guess I think my mic was muted and I was like talking about it, but basically this is like the easiest hard course to get a good score on, and that's thanks to the fact that there are 2 par 4s that you can get on the green in one pretty easily. One being a lot easier than the other, actually. One actually having its own hole-in-one plaque. One of the par 4s, actually. And yeah, I guess we'll just get into it. Don't really want to delay it too much. So here I would go with Jack on Infinity straight or Big Air straight. So I guess you could also use Ratchet Infinity. That's an option, but I usually just go for Infinity straight Jack or Big Air straight Jack. Control actually makes a pretty significant difference. But for courses like this where you just kind of want to get through without like any crazy like chip-ins or anything, you can go with Jack and it'll be pretty straightforward with Big Air or Infinity Club. So either works. On like a save state here, I'll probably use some save states if I make some mistakes, because I've mainly just been playing the Japanese version of the game, so I'm probably kind of rusty. And let's just get into it. I honestly think this is an easier course than Daydream and United Forest, maybe even Bagpipe. 25 is easier here than on like Bagpipe, Silk Road, those other courses, because those courses don't have short par 4s. This one does though, and this one has less wind than United and Daydream have, I think. So here we got a pretty simple setup. I'll go with the 291 or full here. Just aim at the tree and then the wind will kind of push that beside the tree. That's my bad. You know, I'm gonna reset that. That was my first shot in the US version of the game in like so long. So I'm probably rusty. That's my bad. Okay, so similar wind here, just aim straight at this fairway, nothing to it, just don't put any spin on it. I usually don't put spin on it anyway. So usually you'll get a lie that rolls the ball to the right or straight up, something like that. And here I have 4 degrees up on the lie, 2 meters left on the wind, so I'm going to go about 1 grid line to the right. And the wind is going forward a bit, and the green is pretty much flat and going to the right. So I guess I'll just go 1 notch below max power. And we'll see what happens. That's not going in, but close enough. Look at that, right behind the hole. It should have went in, but I got bad RNG. Putt is pretty easy. This is not too problematic of a hole, even with bad wind. Whatever the wind is, you just have to adjust your aim accordingly, like on the, like where you aim on the fairway. That's really it. I think this is also 3 wind. Or maybe even 2? I think this is 2. I'm getting really lucky here. So if it's 2, I'll aim right to... I usually like... since it's not going like straight left, I would normally like aim like a little bit left of 2 grid lines. Because if it's straight left, I'll go 2 grid lines in a perfect world, but this green is a lot farther below than the tee. I can't talk. It's like the down 16 yards on the top of the screen basically says that the ball is gonna sort of, you're gonna swing the ball and then it's gonna go up, of course, go down until it sort of meets where the tee is, and then it's gonna go down 16 yards more from that, or something like that. So in this case, I'm not gonna use backspin either. I'm just gonna use a regular shot, no spin. So I'm just gonna aim a little bit, I guess. I'll go one club, or, well, no, that actually doesn't make any difference. I'll use my 4-iron. I'll undershoot it by like 3 notches since it's 16 yards down. And 3 notches is about almost 12 yards. You know what, I'll just, yeah, 2 notches. 2 notches below max. I guess I'll also press down on impact just to be safe, because that fringe might just, like, let's see what happens if I just do 2 notches and don't do anything on the spin front. Oh my god, I'm so rusty. Why is the timing so different? I feel like the timing on US and Japan are completely different. So this is without any spin or anything. Look what the fringe does. You really don't want that. But if you press down and adjust your shot a little bit to the right to adjust for the greater amount of wind, I'm gonna miss impact here. We're on the green. And see how the fringe hasn't stolen our shot or anything? That's much better. So if you're worried about the fringe doing anything like that, just press down on impact. You don't even have to do backspin or anything. Just press down on impact. I don't like holding it like the whole time. I haven't really tested it, but it just seems really like unreliable, I guess. Hole 3, hole 3, hole 3. 2 options. You can either go here and then take your second shot from there, but there are a lot of trees in the way, so it's really risky. I like to go here a lot of the time. Just watch out for the sand trap on the left. Just aim where that best drive flag is, about there. And full power. Wow, I'm rusty as hell. I swear the Japanese version has such different timing, or maybe it's just me. And Jack's control just veered off to the left for no reason, but we should still be fine. There's a lot of room for the ball to roll, so that's not a problem. And we have a good cup position, actually. That's pretty good. So... hold on 1 second. Okay. So, decent cup position. And 3 yards down on the elevation on the top, that's kind of misleading. Because not only is this green coming toward us, it's like uphill, but it's also a sort of headwind sort of situation where the wind is pointed at us, so we have to overshoot anyway. So 3 meters of wind down right means we have to go left half of that in grid lines, so 1.5 grid lines. Ball is rolling to the left on the bottom right, but I really doubt it's gonna go that far left as it's suggesting. So I'm just gonna be safe. I usually go for backspin here because topspin and regular like non-spin shots are kind of hard to stick here. Let me just get this right. Man, I'm so rusty. I haven't even practiced or anything. You have a 2-frame window to hit perfect impact, by the way. Just so you know. Pretty good amount of power. But the fact that I'm using a 5 woods is basically saying like the ball's not gonna fly that much. So there's not gonna be too much spin or too much time for the ball to go Like, I'm going to the left, but the ball's not going to have much of a chance to go to the right towards the hole, since it won't fly as high or as far. Well, it is going to fly far, but not high. Anyway. This hole, you have a lot of fairway to work with. Like, look at all this. You could go here if you wanted for a long second stroke. You could go here if you wanted for also a long second stroke where you would probably need to use backspin or at least press down on impact. But I usually go here, around there, just to make the second stroke as short as possible. My perfect impact is probably going to be like 10% at this rate. So there's a banshee wailing or something here on this hole. It has nothing to do with your shot timing. I used to think that. But 4 meters to the left means I'll go about like 2 grid lines plus another one. Like, when I say 2 grid lines, I mean this is half a grid line. These, you see these vertical lines on the green. This is 1 grid line. This is 1.5. This is maybe 2. Now we're going off the green. I have no idea. This is 3-ish. So I'll go about there. And then the green is going slightly uphill. Account for that, noted. And I guess I'll just use the 145 club, the 9-iron. That's also an option. And we'll see what happens. No spin, no nothing. Notice how misleading that down elevation thing is. Pretty easy putt here. You could go a bit to the left, I guess. That 0.39 feet at the top means undershoot by 3.9 feet. Or a little... What? Okay, that's kind of surprising. Let me redo this. So let's redo this with the 153 and overshoot a little bit. See what happens. The French can really ruin your day. This should be way easier. I have no idea how that missed, but anyway. Okay, hole 5. This is one of the easiest par 4s and also the hardest par 4s at the same time. Because sticking this shot is hard. It's really a shot in the dark sometimes, like you have no idea what's going to happen. And also the fact that full power is a wild card, so even if I do manage to get full power, perfect impact, and of course you would go for backspin here, I'll do 291 first, see what happens. So see, I'm on the green. That camera angle indicates that I'm on the green. That was pretty easy actually. So you don't always have to rely on full 291 full power. Just the red flame one is enough. But if we try 291 with the full, let's see what happens. It's kind of randomly generated and it varies from hole to hole. This still worked. Might be too far though. That's a bit tougher of a putt, but I think it's still possible. Let me save. So ball's gonna roll left a tiny bit, then right a tiny bit, then left again. So we'll go. It's going left twice, so we'll go a bit to the right. Undershoot by about 0.35 or 3.5 feet, as it says. And that was wrong. I actually had to aim straight at it, I think. Let me try. Wow. That's actually insane. Don't worry, I'm not going to save this round. It's if I were to save it, that would be like a fake long putt, I guess. Hole 6 is actually not hard. I don't think it is. Some hold positions can ruin your day, but really it's not too bad. Basically, I just aim a bit to the left. Like, looking at the green, I would go about here, but the wind is also going right a bit. So I'll go about there, and it's going down a bit, so I'm gonna have to adjust for that. So with this, if you go 176, I'm almost certain that this is gonna be less than enough power. Like, watch. I'm sure this isn't gonna be enough power. I'm pretty much sure. Oh, that was actually exactly the amount of power I needed. So the thing with this is it's like, if you want the ball to roll more on the green, you have to adjust even more extremely for the green to compensate for that roll. So like I have to go all the way like here to compensate for that. Yeah, those mixing slips are a bit tough, I guess. I mean, I think that's not enough power. I think that's just not enough power. Just barely. That might go in though, I'm not sure. You can also take the club, press square to get 10 yards extra power, and go 2 notches below max power. That'll give you a tiny bit more than if you were to just use the regular, so in this case 3 yards more. So in this case I would just go 176. I wouldn't press square. That's gonna miss, but it's fine. That camera angle basically tells you it's gonna miss. Easy putt. This is not really a hard green. You can also use backspin in situations like that, but I like to play off the green. Hole 7, you can really get into the semi-rough even if you're aiming over here sometimes. Really depends on Jack's control. I'm gonna use backspin here so I don't roll too much, but I missed anyway. But it's fine. Since you pressed down already, it's gonna kind of help you with that. Making sure the ball doesn't roll too much. Still helps. Missed impact again. Let's see what happens. Okay, not too bad. So fringe shots you might have to recover without putting. So here the game set me on 9-iron by default. Sometimes it'll put you on pitching wedge, but this time it gave me 9-iron. So I kind of want to treat this like a putt in a way. So I'm going to go 6-iron, press L1 to change your club. And if you use like a lower iron like this, it's going to roll a lot more. And it's going to roll downhill because it's 0.50 feet. You can see that at the top. So judging by that, I'll shoot like at 7 yards or lower. And let's see what happens here. Perfect. Literally perfect. So just treat it like a putt. Visualize the ball rolling with the way of the green. And now we approach. Not approach. Now we enter the easiest par 4 on wild green. And look, I've even had a par 4 ace here, and it even gives you a plaque for it. I think this is the only hole, the only par 4 in the game with a plaque, which is kind of cool, but it kind of makes sense. I feel like the developers knew that this was going to be achievable, but it is still very difficult, so that's kind of cool that they left that in there. This is probably my least favorite cut position because of how far it is, but it's still definitely aceable if you're looking for an ace. So I'm gonna save here just in case, because with the big air club, it's more likely that Jack's control will veer off to the side for no good reason and hit the trident, and it'll all be over, basically. So option 1 here is to just aim between the second and third peak of the trident. And look, it ruined my day there. I think the wind I also forgot to account for the wind. You can also aim at the middle and press right on impact. But that might be too far right, no? No, we're good. It's not gonna roll far enough, but we're on the green either way. Wow, that green. What is that green? Okay. Better option is to press down on impact. So the ball gets more air. And look at that, Jack's control is going crazy. Because I missed perfect impact. Let me get it once. Better. This middle part of the green is crazy. Okay, that one passed it. Sort of a difficult putt, but we're through anyway. You could also spin like using the left opening of the trident. Press right on power and left on impact. I'm gonna add some more power. That looks much better. Way better. And another option, you can skull shot by pressing down on power, down on impact. But I think in this case it's going to be too much power, but we'll see. $277. Yeah, way too much power. So I guess the best option here is to go to the left, even though our wind is going to the left. That's too much curve. This is actually pretty unpredictable what can happen. Okay, how about if we just do a regular backspin shot? What happens? Make sure to account for wind when calculating this shot in particular. Okay, that's pretty solid. That was just a super backspin shot. You have to press up and down at the same time as X. Like, you have to just time it right. I get a lot of comments about it. But you really just have to try it yourself. Get the timing down. And minus 11 into hole 9 is pretty good. That's minus 24 pace. So here I usually aim like right there. Past the sand trap. And there we go. The tree is not really a problem here, but it can be sometimes, so watch out for that. 11 yards down, 5 meters this way towards me, so I'm gonna overshoot by only a little bit, so the wind can sort of bring me back. Pretty good. Oh, I should have explained like how I adjusted. So 5 meters to the down, like towards us and to the right a bit. So I went left a little, like 2-3 grid lines to the left, and also accounting for the line going to the right. Even if you miss impact, I don't think it's too big of a problem. Alright, 2 to 3 to the left. And I am so rusty, it's not even funny. Why is my under par up at 128%? Okay, not a bad shot. Alright, minus 13 front 9. It's really cool when that happens. I've had minus 14 a couple times, but for a course like Wild Green, that's a really good feeling. Getting that. Okay, this hole has cost me a minus 25 before, because what I did was the wind was pretty much exactly like this. I don't know if I'm gonna get it here. I probably will. So I aimed there at this fairway, but look what happens. It just rolls right off. Let me show you a better angle. That's not a good angle, but let's see. So it'll land on the fairway, and then the fairway just doesn't stop. The rolling just doesn't stop. So you want to instead aim at the middle, right about there, and maybe go for backspin as well. Press up and down on the same, pretty much the same frame as the X presses. Is that still going to be out of bounds? I guess not, we're good. Sometimes you can even get within 60 yards and use the approach clubs, the approach wedges. Here I'm kind of worried I'll hit the tree, so I'll press right and then left on impact to kind of go around it, or try to. Let's see if this works. Let's see. Okay, we're good. That's really good, actually. Oh wait, am I on a bogey? I didn't. Okay. So this is what I would do. I would just go there. Please no sand traps. Like, you gotta. There are a bunch in your way, so I like to aim right about there, right before that last one. And even if I do get in that last one, I can still recover because I'm using Jack, who's still pretty good in the sand. He's not like Louise. Okay. Here I would go 5 feet above 23. That's about 28. Adjust for that putt. Just visualize the ball rolling. Hole 11. Watch out for these water hazards, but don't be scared of them. They're not too big of a worry. Aim right down the middle. And if you do that, you'll probably get in the water. Or not. I'll keep going to show why I use Jack and not Louise. Hopefully this works in my favor. And you see that you can get out of a tough situation, more or less. That's still pretty savable, or salvageable, whatever the word is. Aim to the right because the green is rolling left. Right on in first try. Didn't even have to use my save state. And there you go. That 11 degrees on the bottom right basically means that the ball's gonna fly over part of the green and your shot won't be affected by that part. So this is about 6 meters of wind down and to the left, so I'll go about 2 to the right, and then 17 yards down is the elevation that it says on at the top, so I'll overshoot it by a bit. Oh, that's 5 meters. Okay, I thought it was 6. Missed impact, tried for backspin, still on the green. I like to press triangle and hold down to get this camera so I can make a better putting decision. That should be in.
Run, baby, run.
Yep. Hole 13. A couple options. You can go here. I never actually go here. Let me try. It's a bit of a risk, but dang, I guess I should go here. It's actually kind of safer. I mean, with this cup position, it's not really ideal, especially with that that shrubbery in the way, whatever that is. Oh, we're on the green though. Okay, another thing you can do is aim for this fairway on your first stroke, which is what I do in my wild green personal best run. They can sorry, I don't know, it's the morning. It's like I don't know why my voice is going out on me. Anyway, if you watch my wild green 25, you can see that
shoot it.
go on that other patch of fairway instead of this one.
Praise the Lord.
So you can use backspin.
Don't be scared.
3 grid lines to the left is what I go for. Gonna overshoot this by a bit too much, but it's fine.
I just love her.
Gonna have some water. Hole 14. So this is another benefit of using a high trajectory character like Jack or Louise. Is that, so here the wind's going pretty fast, so I don't want it to affect my shot, so I use topspin. If you use topspin on the drive, wind is not going to be too big of a factor. And this fairway will really let your shot roll. Sometimes this will be in your way, this tower, but you can easily backspin over it if you're like within like 150-ish yards. You should be fine if you use backspin or press down on impact at the very least. My lie here is not great. I'm going down 8 yards or 8 degrees, so it's not going to go too far to the left. I tried going 5-ish or 4 grid lines to the right because there was 5 meters of wind. The green was lower than the ball, and Jack is a high trajectory character using like a low iron, so of course it's going to go high. A couple options here. If you don't want to take the risk of going at this part of the fairway, like it looks like I'm aiming at the rough, but sometimes it'll just touch down on the rough and keep rolling until it reaches like where my best drive flag is. You can also use this little patch of fairway here, and that's what I'll do here actually. I'll just do that real quick. Undershoot a little bit so it doesn't roll too far. I think that's good. Yep, exactly what I needed. Exactly. This cut position is new to me. I don't think I've seen this one before. Wow, I actually don't think I've seen that before. But if you go, so this is 4 meters to the left and a bit down, so I'll go about 3.5 grid lines to the right. 1, 2, 3.5. And I'll overshoot this by a bit. I'll use the 4 iron with 10 extra yards. I'll go 1 notch below max. I'm gonna miss impact. That's not what I wanted to show, but that can happen. I don't really know what's up with my emulator. Sometimes it feels like the shot gauge is going faster and slower and changing speeds and stuff. But had my shot succeeded the first time, that's what it would look like. Easy eagle setup. This is probably the hardest cut position for this. So that's like a 20% chance basically, because there are 5 cut positions per hole. So don't worry too much about that. I'm not sure why they placed the statue where they did, but don't aim too close to it. I suggest aiming with a 5 iron or something, so you don't get into any sand traps either. I missed impact, but that's okay. Decent cut position. I'll let the ball roll here because there's a lot of room for it to do that. I'll go right a bit because of the wind and the ball lie both going left. I'll use 210, 1 notch below perfect. Because I feel like this looks like I'm overshooting it, but at the same time I think the green is going to make this roll a lot. But I'm probably wrong in assuming that, because what is going on here? That's fairway? Okay. So let's say I get myself into this predicament. 18 degrees of ball lie. Let's try and save it. Okay, I have to go left a bit because of the green. Don't forget that. If you get yourself into situations like that, don't give up easily, because you can save it like that. I did so in my personal best run on that exact hole. It was like really lucky. Okay, this is a nightmare scenario for hole 17. So this cup position is tough to deal with when the wind is like here, because normally with this wind you want to aim here, but look at the problem. You can easily see the problem. It's this pillar. So if you try to backspin it, you're going to hit this pillar. If you try to topspin it, the fringe is going to steal it and you're probably going to end up in this sand trap over here. So I guess what I would do here is I would press nothing on power, but I would press down and right both on impact, both buttons at the same time. So, okay, I'm going to overshoot this by a lot, maybe 2 notches below 200. I'm pressing down on impact to get high enough so that the fringe doesn't bother the shot, and pressing right to get around the pillar. Hopefully that works.
It's gonna hit that pin. Unstoppable.
Pretty damn good
Your putting makes me hungry.
with the circumstances. Under the circumstances. And you can see the results.
I need to go to the store.
So, we're 1 hole away. Hole 18 is one of the toughest holes here, and I'm gonna have the maximum wind I've had all round. This wind has actually been pretty good, like, look at all that. 6 and I think 7 now at the very end, but that's... I think it gets stronger at the end for some reason. I think the same thing happened on my 25 under. Okay, so we have a headwind, I believe. And this rough over here, which you don't want to aim at, you want to aim left of it. I'm going to go with topspin here. Jack's control off to the right, but we're still okay. 7 meters towards us means 14 yards. We have to kind of overshoot by 14-ish yards. Plus that 3.1 at the top, that's around 17. I'm using these formulas for calculation because I'm using backspin here with 5 woods, so... Nah, man, I gotta get that right. Okay. I aim a bit right because of the ball lie. And... that's pretty good. That's pretty good, man. And that's it for the wild green tutorial. Overshoot that by 4 feet because it says 0.39 feet. And if you follow that all correctly, without making any mistakes, you'll get a 24 under on wild green. And that's with no chip-in eagles or hole-in-ones or double eagles or anything. And no mistakes or pars or bogeys either. So if all that evens out, you'll finish with a good score. 36% perfect impact. Dude, I'm so rusty. I'm so rusty, bro. I've been focusing on the Japanese version, as I said. But yeah, I guess if there's no questions, that's really it for this tutorial. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.